Hello everyone and welcome to this video. Today we're going to talk about yet another one of Star Stable's game vlogs. Of course, we're going to talk about their October one, which is titled Star Stable October Vlog Halloween and Hollow Woods. The leaves are changing color and the air is getting crispy. Perfect time to get cozy and read our latest monthly game vlog. And as the title suggests, the first part of the article talks about the Halloween update, which I don't find that interesting, but the latter part is all about Hollowwoods. We get so many pictures of, how Hollowwoods will look like, and it looks so good. And they also just went into a lot of detail. I feel like this part is quite long, so of course we're going to go over it and talk about it. So as always, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you do, make sure to subscribe. It really means a lot. And now let's get into it. This part of the article is obviously titled Hollowwoods. It was written by Bretton Hamilton and Oscar Carlson. We're first met with this beautiful picture of what some parts of Hollowwoods will look like, and the scenery is just gorgeous. In the picture we see a house that has the same style as the houses in Valedale. We also see that the area is a little misty in the distance, and then next to the house we have a garden, and we know that we're gonna get some new gardening mechanics, which are so cool. We have a few trees, and then there's also these cute purple flowers. They kind of look like tulips to me, but at the same time, not really. One thing that I will say about this picture is it is obviously very gorgeous, but there's not that many trees, and to me it doesn't look like Hollowwoods anymore. It is really good, and obviously, as I said in my last video about Hollowwoods, it does need an update because it is so old, and obviously it will not look the same. But I feel like right now you don't even really see the sky when you're riding in Hollowwoods, and here there's like a few trees scattered all over. I mean, if this is at the end of Hollowwoods, I wouldn't mind it, but if it's in the middle, I'm just confused, Anyway, the article starts with, "Hello again, writers. My name is Bretton Hamilton. You might know me as Game Master B, and I'm the lead game designer at Star Stable. Today, I want to talk about our upcoming Hollowwoods update. First things first, before I get you all hyped up, let me start with some tricky news. To start, we are removing the Valedale Championship in the first Hollowwoods release. We want to remaster it and release it in the future, but the team doesn't have the time to give you the entire Hollowwoods release and remake this championship. But don't worry, we'll bring it back early next year in a way that really feels like it makes sense for the new area and gameplay." This is a pretty huge project involving remaking an area containing a lot of quests, races, and dailies, while at the same time creating new gameplay for you to enjoy. The team's health is important to us, so to ensure we have a good work-life balance and still deliver content we're proud of, we made adjustments to the release plan to give them more time to finish all the amazing content. One adjustment is to release the area revamp first, and then the new gameplay will be released in the following 2 weeks. Another is that we will release more fun activities for you to do early next year. For you experienced players, you will be able to explore the forest before the magic really begins. While this is not what we initially intended, you will get to enjoy all the magical things that will emerge once they are ready. Hollowwoods is an enchanted woodland at the heart of Jorvik. The nearby townsfolk of Firgrove and Silverglade prefer not to enter these mysterious woods for fear of unusual glowing runestones and the occasional encounter with the odd druids who live in Valedale Village. But surely the forest is no more magical than those of Firgrove, Greendale, or Golden Hills, right? Well, to the common outsider, the forest is dense and misty, but otherwise quite normal. To those who are initiated by the druids, the true magic hidden in plain sight will be revealed. Riders can follow any and all of the druidic paths to grow their connection to the Hollowwoods. The path of the whimsy is all about embracing fun and letting your curiosity guide you. Fireflies humming with the very light of a Dean dance through the ancient glades and groves. Those trained by the druids can learn to capture and collect this light without harming the fireflies, of course, and those that unlock the magic of the druids can even attack the fireflies from afar. Further training can reveal wisps disguising themselves as fireflies. Once revealed, the startled spirits will dash over branches deep under logs and dart through the trees to return to their favorite hiding spots. Riders who can keep up and spot where the wisp is hiding can collect light from its hidden stash. And then we also have a picture of some stone with runes and what I will guess is the Silver Song River with it. And again, one thing that I wish is that SSO kind of kept the color of Hollywood. The trees are a little different. I wish they were more like warm toned, like the wood, because it kind of looks gray purplish to me, but other than that it does look pretty nice. The path of runology is for the study of magic and unlocking the secrets of ancient runestones. Lastly, anyone seeking a challenge is sure to enjoy some of the new Runstone Puzzles being added in Hollywood. Runestone Glyphs is a memorization minigame where players must remember a short sequence of runic symbols and hunt around the environment in search of them while avoiding the incorrect glyphs. Our other new puzzle is rune carving. The second puzzle is a short logic puzzle that requires you to decipher a sequence of commands to correctly identify the required glyph. Players who follow the path of runology will unlock new difficulty options that offer some of the best rewards in Hollywood. We're also working on a third path revolving around gardening, but that needs a bit more time before it's finished and perfected. Fellow plant lovers and cozy gamers get ready to garden away early next year. Then we have a picture of some magical horses, and this part of the article is titled Magic Horses and Pets. As you learn to see and channel the magic of Hollywood, you will slowly earn the trust of some of our classic magic horses that live in Hollywood. These creatures offer quests to those they trust and can be discovered hiding in the forest. When these horses learn to fully trust you, they will unlock permanently for a discounted price near Valedale Village. Now that they have finally returned home, they are leaving the magic horse rotation. Oh my gosh, this is actually so nice to have a discounted horse all the time. And oh my gosh, this is something that I feel like a lot of people were asking for, you know, just have horses roaming around the Hollowoods. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to see them, especially I think it's the Clydesdale models. I prefer them, but I would love to see all of them. It's definitely going to be magical. Progression system. But Game Master B, I hear you cry. This all sounds amazing, but how will I unlock and earn all the new activities, items, and rewards in Hollywood? A great question, my dear reader. And then we have a picture. On the upper left corner, we have some kind of number, and I don't really know what that's for. We have 3 different symbols, which I'm gonna guess are the 3 different pathways that we talked about. It seems like we're seeing level 1. Oh yeah, there's Path of the Whimsy, Path of Terra, and Path of Runology. I don't think we've talked about Path of Terra, but I'm gonna guess that's the gardening one. You basically have to complete different tasks on different levels and get rewards, and by completing a level you can move up, have harder like dailies, missions, all of that. It's really cool we don't have this kind of mechanic in SSO yet. I hope it's not going to be too grindy, and I hope this will provide something for us older players to do. For Hollowoods, we want to experiment with putting the power of choice in your hands. As you complete activities around Hollowoods, you'll earn the light of Aideen. This light can be channeled into the Mother Stone, a runestone of immense power, to unlock upgrades, items, and more. This means you'll get to pick what, when, and how you'll unlock everything. If you prefer to solve puzzles but crave a greater challenge, then you can progress through the path of runology first, while those who love collecting fireflies and chasing wisps can unlock through the path of whimsy. I'm sure this all looks a little overwhelming, but we're going to do what we can to make this as fun and intuitive as possible. Now, without further ado, I'll hand you over to my dear friend and wonderful colleague, Oscar. The next part is titled Bringing Hollowoods to Life. Hello, I'm Oscar and I am one of our lead 3D artists here at Star Stable. My focus is on our environments, and here we see another part of Hollowoods. This area kind of reminds me of the part between Fort Pinta and Moorland next to Doyle's Abbey. And oh my gosh, there's one tree that's colored the way I would like them to be on the right, but all of the other ones, the big ones, again have this grayish color. One of them is not straight, which is kind of cool. They all have different designs. There's a lot of greenery, a lot of flowers, herbs, which is so cool. But again, there's not that many trees. I was really expecting a thicker forest, but okay. Anyway, they said, for Hollowoods, we are very excited to improve the quality of our assets in this area. It is something that has been on our to-do list for quite some time, several years actually, but we have always had to change our focus at the last second. Now, finally, we have been able to put our attention into Hollowoods. I don't know if you have thought about this, but Hollowoods as it is today does not feel like a big area. I know that I did not think about it as a big area due to the lack of points of interest and the lack of variation. With the changes we have done and those we're currently working on, the whole area feels like a much bigger place. We have been able to put quite a few points of interest. To help with this, we've also divided the massive forest into smaller biomes. We have a new large lake, a deep overgrown forest, a stony mountainous area, small flowery meadows, and a new waterfall feeding into the Silversong River. Something else we have been working on is the integration of the gameplay and the environments to hopefully bring a more cohesive experience to you. To do this, we worked very closely with our game designers and collaborated to make sure that the new gameplay really feels like it's a part of the environment. For this release, we're putting all our focus into the forest surrounding Valedale to give it the time and care that it needs. We're not making any big changes to the architecture type of the village, but that is something that could be looked at in the future. The team and I can't wait to get this into your hands, and we hope you'll be as excited as we are. And we get yet another picture. Again, just a lot of trees, and it seems like leaves on the ground, but they're differently colored, so it might not be leaves. I have no idea. Maybe some just interesting looking moss. The last part of the article is titled Hollowoods 2024. Hey, Game Master B again. Thanks for reading about our upcoming Hollowoods update scheduled to release November 15th. We have more exciting plans for Hollowoods planned for 2024, which will include lots of stuff we wanted to release with this update but didn't have time for. This will include gameplay, secrets, items, and more. Tell us what you're most excited for, and when we release this big update, let us know what you most like and want to see. See you soon, writers. Okay, I'm honestly not going to read about the Halloween part of the article because I'm gonna be honest, I don't really care. I am kind of sad about SSO removing the Valedale champ, so make sure to do it as many times as you can before it is permanently removed and then changed. It's going to take quite a few months for us to actually get it back because we're only going to get it at the beginning of 2024, which is 2 months minimum. I do think the area is going to look beautiful, though it is going to be a lot different, but I am looking forward to it.
Design of the Halloween Festival 2023 by Harry Jokinen, Content Game Designer. Hello there, I'm here to talk about the design of the Halloween 2023 festival. Previously I have contributed to the design of primary quests such as A Storm over Devil's Gap, A Frips Agents and A Through the Vala Portal, and I have also worked on lots of festival content, such as the Yeti quests from Winter 2022. This year we focused more on maintenance and bug fixes, than bombastic new activities and questlines. Due to this decision, you will find many of the classic and returning activities to be smoother experiences than before. We put our efforts into the smaller fixes this year because we are currently working on other big updates, such as the upcoming Hollowoods and Winter updates. Because of shifting resources and focus onto these other projects, Halloween this year was not as huge as it has been during the previous years. We have also talked about moving away from the huge, multiple of years spanning questlines during festivals, and Halloween this year is a reflection of that. We have brought back the Galloper story quests from previous years, but we did not add a new chapter to that story. Players will be happy to hear that this year's Halloween maintenance includes removing the portal unlocking from last year. We heard the players' response and understood the frustrations that it caused, and felt like it was not a good way to gate the content. The soul shards will also be returning as a secondary currency to the autumn tokens, contrary to what was discussed last year. You can now exchange the shards for tokens, but grinding them will not be as necessary since the portal unlocking has now been removed. Both trying to get rid of the soul shards, while at the same time requiring them for content felt too clunky for us. There are small fixes all around Halloween, and we've made sure the old activities still hold up. In general, we've aimed for an overall theme of Witches of Jorvik with this year's festival. We've sprinkled little bits of that into multiple different content. One of the new activities this year will be the Witch's Gambit, which will act similar to Galloper's Gambit from previous years. After you accept the challenge, a ghostly witch will appear to haunt you after an undetermined time. If you survive the challenge, and manage to evade the witch's obstacles, you will get a reward. Another big thing this year will be a completely reworked version of the classic Scarecrow Hill race. We've really put all of our art efforts into making this more witchy and spooky. The new race will be more challenging as well, taking some pages from the magic-infused races that you can experience during a On the Trail of Anne and a Storm over Devil's Gap primary quests. After all, the original Scarecrow Hill race was heavily inspired by one of the old story quests, so we are continuing that tradition, while bringing something new to the table. While this festival was being worked on, there were also other big projects either in production or on the horizon. One of the biggest releases this year will be the completely revamped Hollowwoods with all new game plan story accompanying it. Stay tuned.